With the introduction of cloud gaming services such as Xbox Cloud Gaming's service, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, Google's Stadia, and Amazon's future cloud gaming service Luna, there is a need for a good mobile controller. For those looking to play on the go, we have what we think are the top 3 controllers for Xbox Cloud Gaming. But before we get into that, I'd like to say don't forget to let me spend my money so you don't waste yours by hitting that subscribe button. And to keep informed of real, authentic gaming content, click the little bell. Now, as we all may have realized, cloud gaming is the future of gaming, and I believe Microsoft has already started getting ahead of it, and their Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is one of the best cloud gaming service deals on the market. There is a large lineup of games you can either download to your Xbox console or stream on PC, and even, yes, your Android mobile device. Microsoft is continuing to add games all the time with such a large library, and the Xbox Game Pass making it to mobile. We'd like to take a look at the top 3 controllers for Xbox Cloud Gaming other than the obvious Xbox One controller. The Glap Controller, which has been seen on the ETA Prime channel, is a pretty well-made Bluetooth Android mobile controller, but it is a little on the pricey side, costing me about $109. The housing is made of a light plastic but sturdy. The controller has a telescopic design which extends to about 7.5 inches and clicks in place when fully extended. There is a latch on the back of the controller. When pressed, it will close the controller. The controller also came with a premium case, which is nice, but it still doesn't justify the price tag. Just take a look at this thing. The Glap Controller is quite large in size and has a very unique design. Honestly, it kind of looks like something out of a sci-fi movie with its boomerang curves and cylinder detonation triggers at the top. I know, weird description, but that's what came to mind. The controller has a raised area on both sides that house the analog stick, D-pad, and action buttons. There is a home button and power button on the right side. That is what I believe is a select button on the left side there, and a start and pause button on the right bottom here. You dumb! During gameplay, the controller was a little awkward to hold. Your hands stretched pretty far over the bulky handles of the controller. The analog stick and action buttons are easy to get to because of the spot-on thumb placement. The R2, L2 triggers are pretty comfortable to press, but the L1, R1 buttons are one of the most awkward bumper buttons I have ever had to press, with a horrible, painful stretch. In a platformer such as Ori and the Will of the Wisp, this isn't too much of an issue, but when you get into fighting games like Killer Instincts or FPS like Gears of War 5, it definitely became a painful issue. Now, as far as any lag, I didn't notice any, so I guess the 4.1 Bluetooth technology is doing its job, but I'm sure there is some micro lag not noticed by the naked eye. Now, here is a controller I have taken a look at a few times, and there will be a playlist at the top of the screen or in the description. In my personal opinion, the GameSir X2 is a great controller for Xbox Game Pass and the cheaper of the top 3 controllers for Xbox Cloud Gaming on mobile. The GameSir X2 has a Nintendo Switch layout, and all the buttons feel pretty similar to the ones you will find on the Nintendo Switch. There is an L1, L2 at the top left, and R1, R2 triggers at the top right. The triggers feel like micro switches and not analog, so no level of pressure here. On the left side of the controller, you have a GameSir button, left analog stick, with the topper being quite small, separate button, Nintendo Switch style D-pad, and a capture button, which is a useful add-on. The right side of the controller has a start button, 4 action buttons in the Nintendo Switch layout, right analog stick at the bottom, and a home button. The controller quality is pretty decent. Plastic feels sturdy but lightweight, and it does have rubber padding on the back for grip. The controller does feel pretty good in the hands, and I think the trigger being built into the top side of the controller feels pretty natural to press. The GameSir X2 has a telescopic design as well and extends to accommodate 6.5-inch phones. It does not click in place though. Instead of using Bluetooth technology, this controller uses USB Type-C to connect to your mobile device and has a pass-through USB for charging, which only works with some phones. During gameplay, the controller feels pretty comfortable to hold. During intense gameplay such as fighting games, I did feel some discomfort in the center of the back of my hand, and my thumbs seem to slip occasionally on the thumbsticks due to the small size dome toppers. Other than that, I feel like the rest of the buttons are really responsive. There's no lag due to the controller being wired in, and it's a pretty good option for playing Xbox cloud gaming or any mobile gaming on the go. Now, due to the fact that it does have the Nintendo Switch style layout where A is over here and B's over here, and you're playing Xbox games, occasionally I ended up going to press B when I meant to press A. Now, even though they're both switched, they do function as A and B in game. If you watched the last video, you would have noticed I gradually became a Razer Kishi fanboy. And in my opinion, it is the top controller of the top 3 controllers for Xbox cloud gaming on mobile. The Razer Kishi is unique out of the 3, and that is because it was designed specifically for Xbox Game Pass. When you look at the controller, you can tell Razer was inspired by the Xbox One controller and tried to take its best features and cram it into a mobile controller. It has a full-size analog stick that feels pretty similar to the ones on your Xbox One controller, a weird D-pad which I think they could have done without, an option button, and an Xbox button at the bottom left. There are 4 action buttons in the Xbox layout and a menu button at the bottom right. Now, the trigger buttons and bumper buttons are where the controller feels a little cheap. The buttons are a little mushy, more so on the R2 and L2, but they are analog, so they are varying points of pressure, which can be beneficial in certain games. Quality of the controller is pretty good. Plastic is sturdy, but the cable that holds the 2 controllers together seems like it could break if you're not careful when taking it apart or putting your phone in. The controller is also USB Type-C and does have a simple pass-through for charging your phone during gameplay. Now, due to the Razer Kishi's design curving around your phone, you might be limited to the phones that will fit in the controller, but my 6.4-inch LG G8X Think did fit fine, and the rubber on the inside of the controller does come out, which could add space for a larger phone, but it's not going to be much. If you happen to use a certain phone with a bigger screen than my LG, please let us know in the comments down below so people know exactly what phone could possibly fit into the Razer Kishi. During gameplay, the controller performed really well, but during fighting games, I did experience some discomfort in the middle backside of my right hand, more so than the GameSir X2. I think the highlights of the controller is the Xbox style layout and the full-size thumbsticks with the concave toppers, which feel really natural in game. Now, the controller isn't as good as the Xbox One controller, which extends out further at the bottom, and the Razer Kishi being a mobile controller doesn't because of the limited space, which can feel a little cramped while using the left thumbstick. The action buttons do feel a little mushy compared to the Xbox One controller and the other 2 controllers in this matchup, but that doesn't affect its performance in game. There you go, the top 3 controllers for Xbox cloud gaming on mobile as of October 20th, 2020. All three are good options. At the end of the day, it is up to your personal preference as to which one you believe fits your style of gameplay and mobile gaming needs. However, if I had to suggest one, I would go with the Razer Kishi. Despite its shortcomings, the controller has a lot of highlights like the amazing full-size thumbsticks, the compact design which is good for those gaming while traveling, and there is a version of the controller compatible with iPhone, so they didn't leave iOS gamers out of the mix. My only wish is Microsoft would work with Razer on a possible second edition of the Kishi, fixing the mushy buttons and the dull analog triggers, or even just design their own mobile controller to pair with Xbox Game Pass. If you use any of the three controllers in the video, let the We Deem channel know below what your thoughts on either and which one you think is the best option for Xbox Game Pass or mobile gaming in general. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. Also, I am starting a Facebook page for the We Deem community to express their opinions on hardware, accessories, or peripherals that they are picking up, and some will definitely be featured in a future video, so check the social media links in the description below. Also, if you're interested in supporting the channel's journey to continue to make the content we provide to the We Deem gaming community better and more valuable, the links to all the products are in the description as well. If you found the video to be valuable, click the like button to help it reach the rest of the gaming community. Don't forget that other button, it exists as well if the video just wasn't for you. And as always, don't forget to let me spend my money so you don't waste yours by hitting that subscribe button. Whoa, you almost forgot to discuss the giveaway. Next month, we're going to be doing a giveaway to the We Deem community. There will be a future video on that, but it's going to be the GameSir X2. I'm going to be giving this to one lucky We Deem community member, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Last thing I want to point out before we end this video, and that's there is a cheaper alternative, and that's the Moga from Power A mobile gaming clip. You connect this to your Xbox One controller, connect your Xbox One controller to Android via Bluetooth, and then you're ready to play Xbox Game Pass with your Xbox One controller.